to my channel. So today I'm going to go over this palette. This is in my Project Level Up. It is my level 5. It's the What's Your Power from Gloss Gods. It is no longer available. They don't even have it on their website anymore, but it was a fun palette to have. I'm talking in the past tense as if it's going away. It's not going away. Spoiler alert. It is still here. I have not finished my level 5. So if you're not familiar with Project Level Up, it is a sort of combination of pan those eyeshadows, pan that palette, whatever else you can think of when you're trying to pan an eyeshadow palette. It was created by Sophie Alexandra, and I think this is my 3rd year. I keep saying this every single video, but I can't even remember. Maybe it's my 2nd year, I don't know. But I'm on level 5, so it is super tricky. I have to use all the shades 5 times, and I have to hit pan in 5 shades in the palette. Level 5 is the trickiest, and then you can keep going on, or most people roll back down to level 1, which is the best time. So I'm really looking forward to level 1. I really want a win. But we're on level 5, and I'm not at the point where I can roll in level 1 at the moment. I have to focus on this palette because it's actually going to take me longer than I expected, and it's been a challenge, this one. So let's get into it. Let's see where I am. And yeah, so as you can see on the screen, I did hit pan in it last time, and I was working on my level 4 at the same time, which I did end up rolling out my last update. So for the last month, I really just had this palette and my pan that palette, but really just this palette for obviously this project that I've been working on. And I'm just trying to get uses where I can. It is a color story that I'm not very invested in at the moment. It is so colorful and so bright. This is what we're looking at right now. So in terms of what you can see with the changes, there are no new pans. I have not hit any more pans, but there is more, usage on obviously the shimmers. I have gone into the mattes more times, but honestly, they're mattes. I don't know what they put in them, but they're pretty hard to hit pan on. I have hit pan on a Gloss God matte, and it took me longer than I expected. It didn't take me like 30 uses or anything, but it just took me longer than I expected. They're not super powdery. They don't kick up too much. And they are somewhat pigmented. So, you don't need to really dig in there to get the shade that you need. So you do need to use it quite a few more times to really start seeing a difference. And honestly, looking at these, the only one where I see some kind of dip is this yellow here. The rest don't look like I've used them at all, which is a little disheartening. So anyway, let's get into my uses, because I have been trying to just get at least like the 5 uses done on most of these shades. And for the most part, they actually are. So there's only a few shades left that I have to use a few more times to hit my 5 uses. And then it's really just about hitting 4 more pans, which is what I'm going to find the trickiest. All right, so starting here, we have Unapologetic. I only need to use it 2 more times, and I have. This was and could be still a contender to hit pan on, but as you can see, there's very little disturbance on it. So it also is very similar to a shade that I've just rolled into my pan those eyeshadows. So I think at the end of the day, I most likely won't be hitting pan in this one if I'm trying to hit pan in another lilac purple in another palette. So sadly, I don't think it's gonna happen. Brilliant, I hit pan on it last time, but I still needed to use it 1 more time to get my 5 uses, which I have done now. And then we've got Valuable. I needed to use it 2 more times, and I've done that. This is definitely a contender to hit pan. It's a really beautiful shade, but I haven't really been doing a lot of, I want to say, really warm tone looks in the last week or 2. I thought I would do a lot more given that it's fall and autumn, and a lot of my autumn palettes had a lot of warmer tones to them, like browns and, those autumnal tones that you would expect to see this time of year. But I think in my heart, I've gone cold, and I just want to wear colder shades and icier shades. It might change in the week. Who knows? We've got Halloween coming up soon. Got my nails chipping away. But yeah, I mean, I do think it's a beautiful shade. I just haven't gone into it that many times, but I think I can hit pan in that one. And then we've got Optimist. So this one I went into 1 more time. So I have 3 more uses on this one. And then we have Curious. I went into it 2 more times this month, and I have 1 more use on that one. And then Powerful, I used it 2 more times, so I've actually used it the 5 times. And this one you can see, I feel like there's quite a bit more disturbance on there. And I think I will definitely hit pan. It's not too far off where this one was, so I think maybe 3 more uses and I'll hit pan. So that most likely will be my next pan. But again, I haven't been doing too many like bright orange looks that would work with that. So I need to incorporate that over the coming month if I want to get anywhere with this palette. I loved this palette when it rolled in because I was like, oh yeah, I'm rolling in for the summer, and then I didn't use it over the summer. And so now I'm kind of stuck with it during a time when it's more spring, summer vibes, and I'm so ready for winter at the moment. So, but anyway, next up we have Ambitious. So this one I used 3 more times. This is the one, like I said, I have a little bit more of a dip forming here. And if I'm going to hit pan on a matte, it's probably going to be that one. I'm not working on the yellow anywhere else. And I've actually been using that as an inner corner, just matte. I think it's been working because it's light enough and it's not too over the top. I have done a couple of more browner looks. Like I said, I'm not doing them, but I did do a couple of them even just this week. And I went into it both times with the yellow just because I'm trying to figure out how to use this because I'm not doing a lot of bright looks at the moment. Yellow kind of is a little bit of a struggle. So it's a weird one for me to say I'm going to probably hit pan on it. But I think just because I'm seeing already progress, I think it's one that will probably happen for me. So that one, I've used all my uses on it. So now if I continue to use it, it's really just to hit pan. Okay, next we've got Inspiring. So I used that 2 more times. I actually only need to use it once, but I did use it 2 more times. And it's another one where I do think I will probably focus on it to try to hit pan because it's a little bit different to these 2 shades down here. This one I feel like is a little bit more wearable. These are just very, very, very bright, and I just can't wear them all day long throughout the week. It's just not what I'm going for. So as beautiful as these shades are, I don't think I'm going to try to hit pan on them. But because these 3 shimmers, I already know I can hit pan on the Gloss God shimmer formula easier than the mattes. I do want to focus on the shimmers more than the mattes just to kind of get something going. And they just seem a little bit chunkier as well. And I think when it comes to chunky shimmers, I tend to hit pan on them easily. These 2 down here are very gorgeous, but they're more of your topper shades, so you don't actually need to dig into them to get the product, or just, you don't need to build them up because one swipe and they're absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I think those would be really a challenge at the end of the day. So yeah, my focus, I guess, would be these 4 over here. So anyway, moving on, we've got the next one, Kind. I did use that 2 more times. I only need to use it once, but I did use it 2 more times. I don't think I'm gonna use it anymore. I think I'm quite done with my blues and like these kind of turquoisey blue greens. I just think I'm done with them. And then Courageous, I actually didn't go into it all this month, so I have 3 more uses on it. So this one I do need to spend some time using. And then we have Honest. I used that 2 more times. I only needed to use it once. But I used it 2 more times, and I don't think I will use it anymore because I want to put the focus elsewhere. And Bold, I did not use it at all. So I actually have 4 more uses on this one. So yeah, these 2 have to put quite a bit more use actually on these 2. And then really it's just about hitting pan and maybe a few other uses here and there. It's tricky. I didn't, when I rolled this in, I was so excited that it's going to be my level 5, but now it is a really hard level 5 just because it's a harder color story. I have to pair this for the most part with another palette if I don't want to be super bright. So I've been using a lot of other palettes and then going into this with just 1 or 2 shades. So I've been using it more as a companion palette, which is absolutely fine. I don't mind companion palettes. But yeah, for this time of year, I think it's really tricky. And because I'm so far behind in terms of like hitting pan on shadows, I need 4 more in this palette. I don't want to roll in my level 1 because sometimes when I get to a point where I feel comfortable and I only need to use the palette a bit more, I'm happy to roll in the next level. I need another good month of like strong usage on this and progress before I even consider my level 1. which I would welcome any level 1 at this point. Level 1 is so nice. Maybe I should just do this project and always stick to level 1, but it is fun. It is a nice challenge, and I would suggest anyone who is thinking about joining, I would try it, just try it. I think from level 1 to 3 is really where it's the most fun, and then 4 and 5, you really have to test your patience. So if you are sick of it, I know a lot of people do like lighter versions where they maybe only do the usage, but they don't necessarily hit the pans, or there's other different combinations. But I kind of like the challenge, and I like seeing my palettes with lots of pans in them. So I'm going to stick it out. It's just one of those where I'm hoping that I'll have progress for you next month. At least 1 or 2 more pans, that would be ideal since I haven't had any new ones this month on it. But I have put more use in terms of the shades. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, this one is tricky. So what other level 5 is not tricky? I know it's whether you either have a huge palette and you have to get all your uses, or you have to have a palette that doesn't necessarily have tons of shades, but it's hard to know which one you want to hit pan on. So anyway, that is my update, short and sweet. Thank you so much for watching. If you are doing this project, let me know what level you're on, and if you've hit any pans this month, that would be super fun to read down below. But anyway, I hope everyone is doing well, and I will see you all next time. Bye.